Hello, this is Walter, and this is my screencast and my answers to the Makerspace questions. Visuals in the public domain as supplied by NASA, which I learned I can do in last week's weekly module. Question 1. How can you use your students' interests, motivations, and social connections to develop knowledge about the subject? I would first assess and document my students' interests using an interest inventory as well as observing them in the class and having one-on-one conversations with them. Depending on their ages, it might be effective to tie in the concept of makerspaces with video games or movies or TV shows or the like. I could introduce the idea that these things they enjoy as much as video games like Fortnite were created by tinkering with ideas and code, or the designs of their clothing were created through creative processes. Question 2. How can you use the Makerspace concept in the classroom to help teach content? Well, students could bring storybook characters to life by making representations of them with whatever supplies are on hand. They could apply mathematic concepts like area to three-dimensional displays of whatever interests them. Plans could be drawn up in a computer app and produced with a 3D printer to wrap up the latest science lesson, if there's an element of the lesson for which a model could be made. Question 3. What skills would you want your learners to develop, and why? The most important skills for my learners to develop would be creative thinking, experimenting, collaboration, communication, and the process of trial and error. These are all important skills to develop as they continue their educations and broaden their interests and one day leave to make their ways in the world. Question 4. What will you do for the kids who are amazing at making? I will continue my own education of the maker movement and learn everything I can, as what I've been exposed to just through this lesson has shown that there's a vast amount of expertise to draw upon from those sharing their knowledge and experiences. If my district or school offers workshops and seminars, I'll sign up for sure, and I'll do whatever I can to supply my classrooms with the materials that are needed. Question 5. What will you do for the kids who think they're terrible? Well, I'll try to spur them along by allowing them as much freedom as possible and suggesting topics or areas they hadn't considered. But part of that freedom would include allowing them to think that they're terrible. And if any students feel that strongly, no matter what I do, then they can be allowed to do something else. I'll find them something else to do, something else content related or lesson, whatever works in the classroom at that time. Question 6. What's the role of the classroom teacher? The role of the classroom teacher is to provide the space, materials, freedom, mentoring, starting off points, direct instruction as needed, as well as gaining his or her administration support if necessary. The teacher should get out of the way as much as possible while still providing support and encouragement and steering toward content standards where it makes sense. Thanks for listening.